Welcome back. This is called DPS to the right. Now DPS stands for diagonal palm shift. If you don't know what that is, it's basically I'm going to take a card, pop it into the deck and steal it from the deck without you even noticing or the audience noticing when I'm doing a gig. So let me give you a little bit of a demonstration. So we're going to take the 2 of spades, riffle the cards, pop the 2 roughly into the middle of the deck. I'm going to shift it. I could give someone to shuffle it, but then I'm going to bring that 2 of spades back out and put it into play whenever I want to. So you can reveal that 2 anywhere you want to, really. So it's great. Now you've probably been watching on YouTube. If you've already researched the diagonal palm shift, you'll know it's pretty much most videos are doing it to the left hand, okay? That's still great to use, but for me, I like to do it to the right hand because I'm more comfortable with it and I can take it further. So if I was doing it to the right hand, I can do all this, do some cuts, you know, some shuffles. Let's put your card there. Wow, it's gone, it's not on the top, it's not on the bottom. Hang on a minute, it's in my back pocket. So all of that was misdirection and control, and that was the idea. Okay, now you could do that with the left, but then if I've stole a card in the left hand, I'm not in mechanics grip in my right. No, I'm not ambidextrous. So then I'd have to load it, bring it back to this hand, and then do some cuts and shuffles. It works okay, but I don't want to raise suspicion. So why am I going from one side to the other when I don't need to, really, okay? So, how am I doing this diagonal palm shift to the right? Well, it's basically the same principle as to the left, but at one point when it's diagonally shifted, instead of going all the way around into the left hand, you're going to shift it to the right. So let me show you from this position. So I've put the card in roughly in the middle. As I bring it in, I'm doing a palm shift like you normally would. So I've jogged it out. So as you can see there, it's now jogged out. The thumb is a pivot point. The fingers of the left hand is going to pop that card to there. So instead of curling it down here and around into your left hand like you normally would, take that card, pop it in. I'm going to pop it out. The right hand's going to steal it with the little finger, thumb base and all that, and that's it. So that's a diagonal palm shift to the right. Let me show you one more time. Pop it in, jog it, steal it, and then load it however you want to do it. So I thought that was great. Now, but the problem was is when I was a young magician and I was starting off back in the late 90s, I couldn't understand the principle of a diagonal palm shift. We didn't have the resources like we do today to learn it. I didn't have any magic clubs and I didn't even know any other magicians really to help me. I only knew books and stuff like that. And one part of the diagonal palm shift I really didn't like was you're taking the card, popping it here and saying, look here, hey everybody, look at this card. For me, that's more pressure, that's more difficult. I've got everyone now burning that 8, so why would I do it? Why would I make everyone look at that card and now try and steal the card from under their noses? Yes, it might look cool, yes, I might be great at doing it, but then why make more work for myself? So I thought, I don't like that, I'm going to get rid of that part. And then now how am I going to do a diagonal shift? So when I was doing, you know, other tricks, I used to do the one where you riffle the cards, show the card. Now, don't get me wrong, you'd have a key card or you memorize that card, that would be force card or whatever, pop it on, shuffle it back to the top and go, hey, that was your card. So yeah, I thought that's a great principle. But when I got to this bit here to here, and then to shuffle the cards back on top to control it, I'm giving the audience the suspicion of, well, if he's just shown me the card, he's just shuffled it to the top. He shuffled it to the top, hasn't he? Oh yeah, and now he's controlled it, okay? Or controlled it to the bottom. So yeah, it looks good, and at the time it's okay. But if people start seeing that too much, then they twig onto it. So I thought, hang on a minute. Why don't I take the diagonal palm shift with the shifting part and incorporate it into a dribble? But how am I then going to control that card to shift without me pushing the card through? So I was like, what am I going to do here, Mark? So this is how I did it. As I riffle the cards, I show the card, and I'm going to take the top packet, pop it back onto the deck, give the cards to someone else to shuffle, and in actual fact, I've palmed the card. and that's called a dribble diagonal palm shift, okay? So how do we do it? Well, it's pretty straightforward, but it will take a bit of practice and a bit to get used to. So when we all do card springs like this, it's great, but if you did a card spring and then tried to do diagonal palm shift, this window part here will flash. So if you had a card here like that, you'd see the other card going across. So remember, you're doing a dribble, okay? So you hold the cards like this. So little finger here, thumb here, fingers go across, use this first finger for support to bend the cards, just to help the dribble part, and that's a basic dribble, okay? So as you do a basic dribble, get them to say stop, show it, okay? Now at the time of when you're bringing this packet back onto this packet, closing it up, you're going to use the fingers here to push that card like that. So you've done the diagonal shift, and then you're going to steal the card. So I've took all the work away from going here to here and doing this, because I'm then using the left side of my hand, my thumb and all that to do movement. That also creates suspicion when you're doing the DPS. But if I'm just say here, back down to here, so it just looks like I'm putting the pack back on top of the other pack, and I've stole the card, okay? Let's see if I can do it from a different angle. See there, steal, and it just looks like I'm putting it on, but in fact I've stole the card. So dribble, I'll do it this way for you now. So these fingers here are going to push that card, because the little finger here is the pivot point. The thumb comes in, grabs it into a palm. You can change the position of the palm actually in this position if you wanted to do a tenkai or whatever. It's up to you, and play around with it, test it, try it. I'll also suggest is don't grip the cards too hard. If you grip the cards too hard, then you won't control the card. Okay, that card's going to get stuck. It's not going to do what you want it to do. So remember, be delicate with the cards. Just have enough grip to control it. Same on the dribble. So when you're dribbling, I've got a light grip. The pack goes on top. I'm just gently pushing that card to about there. So even before it's closed, it's out jogged. And then I'm going to steal it, drop the right hand down, give the packet to someone else, or stretch over and give it. So if you come this way, your body here is masking, okay, while I'm dumping the card in my back pocket, and then they can do the shuffles, and then you can go, hey, watch this, I've got it here. So for example, dribble, show, you're happy with that card, yeah? Pop it back on top. I'll say shuffle those cards. You know what, I'll do it for you. So I'll do a one-handed cut. I'm going to take that card, pop it there, and make it disappear. Your card's not on the top and your card's not on the bottom. Let me go to my back pocket, and was that your card? That's a basic principle of how to do that. Hopefully you like that video, guys. So if you like this and you like the idea and the concept, then give me a thumbs up. Give us a share if you can. If you're struggling with it, then leave me a comment or drop me a message on social media, and I'll try and get back to you as quick as possible. I'm trying to make interesting content for you all the time. I really appreciate you guys taking the time and clicking on these videos, and I appreciate my subscribers. So for you subscribers, you know, I'm going to share even more, you know, secret content and send you bits and bobs when I can throughout what's going on in the world. So make sure you're staying safe, make sure you keep practicing the magic, and I'll catch you later.